Welcome back to another episode of Mr. Kelly Reads. Today we are reading The Runaway Hug. "Mummy," said Lucy, "can I have a hug before I go to bed?" "Oh dear," said Mummy, "I only have one left. It's my very last hug." "Can I borrow it?" said Lucy. "I promise I'll give it back." It was long and soft, and Lucy thought it was very nice. "Thank you," said Lucy. "I'll bring it back as soon as I'm finished with it." And she dashed off to find Daddy. "Daddy," said Lucy, "would you like a hug? It's the very last one, so you have to promise to give it back." "I promise," said Daddy. And Lucy gave her mum's very last hug. "Now, can I have it back?" said Lucy. Daddy picked her up and squeezed her as tight as a knot. The hug was stronger than before, but just as nice. So she ran off to find the twins. "Boys," said Lucy, "would you like a hug?" "No, yuck," said the boys. "But it's the very last one," said Lucy. And before the boys could run away, she squeezed them both tightly. "Now, can I have it back?" said Lucy. The boys grumbled, but they gave her the hug together. It was twice as big as before, but just as nice. So she skipped away to find Lily. "Would you like a hug, Lily?" said Lucy. Lily always wanted a hug. She threw open her little arms, and Lucy gave her a great big hug. Before Lucy could ask for it back, Lily giggled and hugged her again. It smelled like peanut butter, but it was just as nice as before. So she raced off to find Annie. Annie was very naughty, but Lucy loved her just the same. "Would you like a hug, Annie?" she said. Annie woofed, so Lucy leaned over and gave her a peanut buttery hug. But as soon as she let go, Annie turned around and ran straight out the door, taking Mummy's very last hug with her. Lucy chased her up and down the hall and up the stairs and in and out of every room, but Annie was just too fast. Lucy felt terrible. She wanted to cry. She was about to go tell Mummy she had lost her last hug when Annie jumped out of nowhere. She landed right on top of Lucy and licked her all over the face. The hug was a lot more slobbery than before, but just as nice. By the time Lucy got to her room, Mummy was waiting. She climbed into bed and gave that last hug back to Mummy. She was a little sleepier, but just as nice as before, and Mummy was very glad to have it back. "Can I have a kiss?" asked Lucy. "Of course you can," said Mummy. "I have plenty of those." Thank you for joining us on another episode of Mr. Kelly Reads. I hope you enjoyed the story. I know I really did. As always, be kind, be happy. Keep on reading.